Very, very warm welcome to you guys. Welcome to the 14 days of love conversations. And oh my god, I'm just loving this. Naslin, are you loving the conversation? Are you loving it? Are you loving it?
Yeah, I like it.
So we've had a chance to have two different topics that actually the second one wasn't even planned for. It just came through the first conversation, and I think we have enjoyed conversing, even us here on studio, just having to talk about it. And I am certain that even you at home, at the office, on the end of the screen, that you have enjoyed watching and even getting to understand this. And our hope is that you are getting impacted through and through this conversation. It's not just entertainment or anything, but we hope that you are getting impacted, rather. You're getting impacted as you listen through these conversations. I hope you get to learn one or two things that will change your life as a single, or as a person in a relationship, or as a married person as well. So today we talk about self-love. And I think on our set today, we have a new guest. Wapi makofi ya Hilda. Yes, Hilda has been on the other side of the scenes. And so, yeah, so right now, we just on this episode, we have invited her to talk to us also. Please, Hilda, introduce yourself.
Okay, hey guys. My name is Hilda Onsongo. Nilisikia tu wakianza anasema kwa uko single ama single. I think so niko single and yeah, I've enjoyed the conversation so far.
Looking forward to a relationship or not?
Okay, nikiangalia sentiments za the men on the bench. Kidogo napata kuna hitilafu but God atakamtu.
Amen. But what do you think about the conversation so far, now that you're on day 3?
It is really good, very open-minded. Na ni real.
Okay. So today we talk about self-love. Self-love and the importance of self-love. So I think it is important for us to also understand that as we talk about these conversations of love, our main aim is for us to build the importance of self-image, to build a unique image, and just to bring up a wholesome human being as a single person, just before you meet your better person. We don't want to say better half because we believe that 1 + 1 makes 1. Not half plus half is equals to 1. So we don't need you to be a half human and another half human, but we are trusting that you will be a wholesome one human and you'll meet another wholesome human, and then now you pursue life together. So that is why we're talking about self-love today. And for me, I think for the longest, I used to think self-love was such a bad thing, or rather was such a selfish thing. And I think we'll come to later discuss in the video later if it is a misconception and why we think it's a misconception, which I believe it is. But I came to realize that even most of us single people, or rather when we are single, we tend to devalue ourselves as single. So we think that we are not deserving of anything good just because you're single. Or rather, even if someone asks that if you're single, you are not confident to answer that you're single or not, because you feel like it's not a good thing to talk about. But then I have come to realize that it is important to embrace your singleness, embrace and love yourself in that journey. And even as you do so, you embrace things like self-care, self-growth, self-love, because unless you love yourself, you are not even able to understand what it means for someone to love you. So you cannot define what a love language is. You cannot even tell someone, I love to be I love to enjoy company with you, or you can't even affirm yourself. So you will take the bare minimum. You'll take anything that come your way. So it is important for us to understand that it is very critical. Self-love is critical for us as humans. Married or not married, single or not single, self-love is critical. Okay? And so just say to our first question, what do you think, or how do you think society has impacted how singles view self-love? How has society impacted your perception of self-love? Who wants to go first? Azine, I think you have a story.
Yes, I do. So, let me start my story first. It wasn't even long ago, this month, I was walking along the streets of Nairobi. Nilikuwa tao. Sasa, I was going to buy some cargo pants because I had to wear them because I was going somewhere and that was the requirement. Now, as I bought it, ikafika part ya kulipa, I have a smartwatch, so it is connected to my phone. So when message ikuja ina detect hapa and then inamata simu, yeah. So this guy, the one who I purchased the pants from, was like, you can a smartwatch. Hiyo kosi libewa tu na mtu wako ama mbaba. And I was like, really? Okay, like, as a lady, can I not buy myself a smartwatch? Like, how much is it that I cannot afford to buy? So, yani, so that in a extent, mpaka unasema, ati umebaiwa. Like, really? I felt I needed it, and I felt like it's good for me to have it. So I bought it myself. You see?
Yeah.
Like, actually, nikasirisha. I felt like, I just held my hustle. I called, I did whatever I had to do, and then that thing, it really hurt me into this person. So, I think self-love, me first, I may love myself. Even my dad tells me, wait, you really love yourself. I think I cannot love people if I don't start with myself. Yeah? I need to start with myself so that I love myself first and then I learn how to love others. And me, that I really love myself. Yes,
Yeah, I think even the Bible tells us that you cannot love someone you don't see. If you don't love your neighbor, so like you can't love God if you don't love your neighbor. But again, you can't also love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. That's why the Bible tells us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So I feel like if we are not able to love ourselves enough, then we are also not able to give love. So unless we are able to love on ourselves, and I feel like it's such a shame for that person to tell you that it was bought by your significant other, which really must it be that if a lady has something nice, it is from a man, or whatever. What is it? What is it that you can't do for yourself? Do you think that also society is painting a picture that women can't just do anything for themselves unless a man has helped them to do? Hilda, what do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I think society has made women to feel like they can't buy good things for themselves. But I also think if you go back to talking about culture, like the past 2 days, growing up as a woman or as a girl, unaambiwa kazi yako ni to take care of other people. So in the long run, you forget about yourself. So pia wewe ukianza self-care, unaanza kufeel kama unakuwa selfish. So it's kind of inbuilt in us as we don't even take care of ourselves. If your friend is not happy, then you're not happy. So I think it affects.
Okay. Shem, do you think there's a way men embrace self-love? Or rather, what does society think about men who embrace self-love?
I can say that society has painted a picture, mostly on women, that for a woman to glow, somebody somewhere must be...
There's someone in the background.
Yeah, someone must be there. Like you just can't glow in yourself, you see. And society has also painted a picture that women should not be independent. Like, no man wants an independent woman. All men want their girlfriends to ask for something. When you have a girlfriend and she doesn't even ask for credit, she buys herself clothes. What's the role of a man?
So, what do you think that means for you now as a single? Now that you are aware of that, what would you think as a single man?
So, as a single man, I should say that when you want to love yourself, you have to see what you are missing in your life. You have to look around yourself. You have to look at your shoes. You have to just love yourself. Now, when you have completely loved yourself and you have a lot of love to give, now you can start spreading the love to others. Because if you can't give yourself, then you can't give it to someone else.
Oh, yes.
You have, even if before buying someone for something, ask yourself, can I give myself that thing? If I can't, then if I have to give,
Yes.
so I have to give myself first so that I can be able to give. You have to love myself.
Rayo, what are some of the ways that you have shown love to yourself?
According to me, loves begin. Upendo inaweza kutoka kwako ndio spread kwa wengine. So ndio nijipende, nafaa kupenda Mungu kwanza. Kwa ina amenipea life, si mwanadamu. Na kama si yeye singekuwa hapa. Yeah.
So niko na swali. You see, on our day one, we were talking about love languages. Do you think that there's a way that there's a love language that resonates with you? Like you can self-love yourself with a certain love language. For example, for me, I affirm myself like all the time. And of course, I also get myself gifts. Love language is not my primary, gift is not my primary love language. But not to say that I can gift stakata, but I think I have learned to gift myself a lot as a way of me loving on myself, yeah. And of course affirming myself so much. So which is something that I've come to learn to do, because I realize I sit there and wait for Hilda to compliment me, she won't. Then I feel bad about it. Then it affects me, it affects how I think. So I feel like Hilda aliniambia blazer yangu iko inakaa poa, hiyo blazer si poa. But then if for me I think that this thing is good for me, then I'm even confident enough to use it, and then I value myself in it. Then I think there's just a way that it just brings some aura with it. Do you think you have, just quickly, in what ways do you express love to yourself with the love languages?
For me buy myself gifts. Clothes, shoes. I really love buying myself shoes, Sarah, and shoes.
Sure.
My love language, me, I usually love to travel. And so when I travel, I have that free space. Like I can eat anything I want. I can, even if I don't feel like eating, I should not eat. Another person, that person may take a point like, yeah, like she's there because I asked her out. But at some point, anafika tu anachoka anasema turudi home. Unaona? So she becomes a nuisance to me.
So you love quality time even for your own
So
self?
yeah, first for myself, love,
Wow.
I can plan to go very far away. And me being alone, no one to
Bother you?
yeah,
I think I also love my me time, but lakini yeah, ako extreme. I feel like mtu akiniambia sasa tumemaliza, I think tunaweza enda home. Me, I think I'm those people because because I love to be alone, I think pia kukaa nje sana inanichokesha. So ukiniita out and then you ask tukae sana, I'm like kuna kitu kingine tunafanya ambayo tunaweza enda home. So totally opposite.
Okay, I think I also do quality time as an introvert. Whenever you understand, I also nurse. as an introvert, you have to have quality time.
Oh,
If
yes.
you don't have quality time, you can't interact with other people. I think I do that a lot. And also, I don't know if I call it like an act of service. I'm doing like this self-care days where you like treat your skin, you do like you shower vizuri, unajipaka marashi, unatengeneza nywele, and after that you feel really good. Actually, I did that yesterday. I was scared. Sijui kama na glow, but yeah. So those are some of the things that I do for myself. Also, like cooking. With the time I used to live by myself, so I could like do like crazy recipes just for fun because I also love cooking. I think that's also something else I did just to show that to myself.
Right? Gifts? Information?
Yeah, for me, number one, gift. Najibaya tu mango, watu bora tu kuwe msafi. Number two, cleanliness. They say cleanliness is next to godliness. Lazima kuwe msafi, kuwe presentable. Yeah. Ya tatu, hupenda music sana. Alafu ya second last, napenda kudiscover. Nafanya research, unatafakari, alafu unajua uzuri ama ubaya wake. Ya mwisho ni kujuana na wasee. Nataka kujua huyu ni nani, akikasirika hufanya nini, tabia zake ni nzuri ama ni mbaya. Kama ni mbaya unaweza correct. Akisipokubali anasemanga asisikia la mkuu huvunjika guu.
Okay, so we live in an era where everything is on social media and there's a lot of pressure on people who are on relationships, with the blood, relationships left, right, and center. So, what does that translate to you as a single person, especially in matters pursuing singleness? Who wants to talk about social media? Ahmad, do you think there's pressure with people posting their relationships all over?
So I can say that social media has really influenced many relationships today. So like I can say that unfortunately some boys or some men grew up without a father figure, or some daughters grew up without a mother figure. And so when you grew up with a vacant in your life, you end up looking for somewhere else to get that gap filled.
Yes.
You can find that most boys, most guys, who grew up without a father figure, they end up looking for social stars like Kinandru Kibe. See, those, now they are the ones who mentor them, and they take them seriously by the way. Yeah. You can see that even someone posts that I'm a strong student of Andrew Kibe. You see. But me, I can't follow him because I have my other values which have been brought up with. So social media, I can say that it really influences us.
I can also say there's a lot of pressure on social media, especially February being the month of love. Kuna hii swali la kwanga, Valentine's is coming.
Where is your boyfriend?
I think that is a trigger for most single people.
Yes.
In as much as tunajipanga moyo eti I'm single, I'm happy. When that time comes, na uko kwa the all community, ukiona gift za watu, Instagram, kila mahali. It's a bit of pressure.
Matching outfits and to
Yeah.
give.
Alafu kila mtu amevaa red, unashangaa rada.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of pressure. Yeah.
So, because again, I think also Valentine's is usually a time that people hate a lot on relationships, especially people who either, again, I understand there is a lot of triggers, either relationships didn't work or they just feel like this is just too much. So, do you think it's fair to hate on people just because I am a single? Do you think it's fair for me to hate on people who are in love? Or do you think it's bad for people to put it out there for me that they're in love?
I don't think it's wrong. Actually, yesterday, I was talking with a friend, and he was telling me the way he hates people posting how they went on dates, how they bought each other gifts on social media, and he was like, why do you have to put this there? We don't have to see it. And I was like, people will post.
Yeah.
As long as it makes them happy, then do it. The choice is yours to see it or not to see it, or rather to comment or do something like that. I think that's your choice. So you don't have to feel bad because people are dating and they're posting that they're happy. Like a moment, you're single, just be single.
Okay.
Okay, I also think your point of view that una view the story ndio inachangia. Ikiwa una view from a jealous point of view, obviously utashangaa mama amepost. But if you're just like, oh, it's a nice thing, it's cute, it's a cute moment, I think hautakasirika post and all of that. And also, kama uko single, naona watu wanapost kufanyana those amazing cute things. Utaka like, oh, there's hope kwa soko, at least mtu anaweza nibeia maua ya 50 bob.
Okay, yeah. So, guys, we are in the 14 days of love conversations, and definitely, Saikuna, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of conversations about what is happening. We don't know exactly what is going to happen this Valentine's. We don't know how many couples are going to post for us. But I think it's important, like they are saying, that it is important for us to also remember the values that we have carried along as we led our lives. Yeah, and I think I also want to agree with Hilda that yes, it is hopeful. Like we get hope that there's hope for a beautiful relationship. There's hope for love. There's hope for all these things. But then again, I think it's important for us to understand that if I am being triggered by, for example, Nazlin's post about her successful relationship, and it's triggering me, then I think I need to search myself and understand what is it that is, because that is not Nazlin's problem. It's my problem that I am angry or I am sad at relationships. So also, let's also self-search. As we're talking about self-love, let's also self-search and understand what are my triggers, especially when I'm looking at relationships. Because it is important that all of us, as in it is just something that we all desire, to love and to be loved. So if I'm being triggered by successful relationships, or just relationships that look like they are working and that they are posted, then it is important that you seriously need to search yourself, soul search, and understand what is it that is triggering me, so that you don't translate it to another person. Remember, we are talking about impacting and imparting ourselves to be effective and the right partners to our partners as they come. Okay? So thank you so much for watching this episode. This conversation is not done. Watch the next video too, as we finalize on self-love and things that we need to do for self-love. Apart from that, what do we tell them?